Fox 10 News starts now with breaking news.
And we begin with breaking news out of Mobile. The suspect in a shooting in Foley has been arrested. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office says James Everett was taken into custody after a brief standoff on Dolphin Island Parkway. Investigators say they received a call about Everett's whereabouts around 12:30. Foley police say the victim, Patrick Landrum, is expected to recover after being shot inside his home. Everett is charged with first-degree assault in connection to that shooting. That's according to Foley police, and I'm also told more charges are expected. Welcome into Fox 10 Live. It is Thursday. We've almost reached the end of the week. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Shelby Myers. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get right back to it. The man accused of killing Charlie Kirk makes his first in-person court appearance in Provo, Utah. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson sat with his defense attorneys today as they push to limit media access in the high-profile case. His legal team is worried the attention could interfere with his right to a fair trial and have asked the judge to ban cameras inside the courtroom. Robinson arrived to court in restraints on his ankles and wrist. Sitting behind in the first row were members of his family. He's accused of aggravated murder, and prosecutors want to seek the death penalty. The Senate voting on dueling health care plans and advancing neither. Hanging in the balance as Capitol Hill debates are enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. Experts say without an extension, skyrocketing premiums will financially cripple millions of Americans. And the Democratic proposal put forth sought to extend the subsidies by 3 years. But Senate Republican leadership argues a straight extension is not the right fix.
This kind of extension of health care subsidies is a very simple, straightforward, non-costly, politically imperative thing to do.
You can't fix this program. I mean, you can't just do a blanket extension without reforms. It is rife with waste, fraud, and abuse.
Any legislation passed in the Senate would need a sign-off in the Republican-led House before the chamber recesses for the holidays, as well as approval from President Trump, making a resolution this year unlikely. The Food and Drug Administration now wants to expand the active ingredient list for sunscreens. The agency announcing it's proposing to add benmotrizinol as a permitted active ingredient for use in sunscreens, which it considers to be generally recognized as safe and effective. The FDA says based on its data review, it provides protection against cancer-causing UVA rays and UVB, which measures burn protection. It also has low levels of absorption through the skin into the body and rarely causes skin irritation. The FDA sunscreen action is part of a broader initiative in the Office of Non-Prescription Drugs. All right, I want to check in with our Stephen Moody, who is filling us in on the story you're going to see a little bit later on from him.
After 2.5 years of construction here in the McGregor Avenue area, it is now finished, and the roundabout, the long-awaited roundabout, is now reopened. Now, it was a huge ceremony this morning here featuring members of the current Mobile administration and members of the former Mobile administration, including former Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson. They talked about the project, what it means to people in this area, and what's next.
We've been involved with a lot of ribbon cuttings, but this one's really special. And part of the special part to me is that we did get finished early, and it has been so disruptive to so many people. But now with the Christmas shopping going on, the holiday season, because of all the merchants that are at either end of McGregor, I'm just really happy for them and for the commuters that it'll cut so much time off of just being in traffic. So very exciting.
And following that ceremony, they actually did a ceremonial drive around that roundabout, and then the road was officially reopened. Reporting here in Mobile, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Well, not much on the radar right now. Let's take a look at that daily feature on our free Fox 10 weather app. We had a front move through yesterday, so that's why we have a little bit of a cooler day with a high of 58. But look at Friday and Saturday. We'll be in the 70s, so definitely warm. We're going to be teeter-tottering with our temperatures over the next week, because then we have an additional front that's going to bring in Arctic air on Sunday. And look what it does to our temperatures. We're going to be in the 50s on Sunday, 49 on Monday. But what we're really concerned with is the 20s we'll be seeing. So I'll be bringing that down in a minute, but let's take a live look look outside of what we're seeing right now. Not really a cloud in the sky out there, nice and sunny. Like I said, it is not terrible outside, but you probably want a light jacket with a little bit of that cool, crisp air, especially as we get into the evening hours tonight. Other than that, it's looking beautiful outside. Temperatures right now across the area, to break it down a little bit into more detail, we have 59 in Mobile, 57 in Fairhope, 62 in Molino, 60 in Crestview, 60 in Monroeville, 59 in Chatham, and 61 degrees in Pascagoula. Over the next 10 hours, temperatures are going to continue to go down. We'll be in the upper 50s till about 5 p.m. Then once that sun goes down, we're not going to really have any warmth out there. We'll be in the 40s into the overnight hours, but luckily not adding on that breeze to make it feel even chillier out there. But since that front moved through, we have a lot drier air over the area. We're well into that dry category. Threshold for that is below 55 degrees. And we're going to continue to feel quite dry. A little bit of moisture adding into the area going into this weekend as that front approaches. That's that green shading there. Still pretty dry, though, for our Friday. Do increase to the more pleasant category. You're still really not going to feel much of that humidity out there as that front slowly approaches. But look at this dark brown color here. That is how dry it is going to be because Arctic air is getting pushed into the area. So another thing we got to track like we did have a month ago. So for the next 5 hours, we'll be sunny till about 5 o'clock. Then we have clear skies. Temperatures getting down into the upper 40s by 7 p.m. And overnight hour, it's going to be chilly out there, but for the most part, it is clear, still in the mid 40s, starting around midnight, 11 o'clock. And then here's our forecast lows for tomorrow morning. Definitely going to get those kiddos packed up in some warm clothes as they head off to the bus stop, where we'll be getting into the 30s. So that's quite chilly out there. And then tomorrow's forecast, that's when we start to see that 70-degree day. So you're going to have that light jacket today, but you're probably going to switch it for some short sleeves and even some shorts for tomorrow.
Okay, our weather's doing a little flip-flop change on us. We had some really chilly temperatures, some really dreary weather. Now we've had the sunshine for 2 or 3 days in a row, and it's feeling nice out there. It's not too cold.
It is. It's just a weird time just because today we had a cold front move through, 50s, 70s over the next 3 days, then another cold front moves through, and we're going to see the 20s on Monday. Dangerously cold temperatures even, so we're going to be probably updating the website for some more cold shelters there. Mobile EMA is working hard in communication with us about whether or not the risk associated with it, and especially that wind chill, because it's going to be breezy.
Very important to stay updated with that, especially if you need to take shelter during the cold time. So we'll keep you updated on that. Now we want to share your story. You guys sent us so many amazing pictures and videos, so keep it up. This first one is from Mark Lindgren. Sunset over a peanut farm, fog or dew in Robertsdale, they caption it. That's gorgeous. So
pretty. It doesn't even look real. I feel like that's the thing I say a lot with these, is it doesn't look real. I need y'all to teach me how to use my camera, because I could never get anything like this. And a lot of people submit photos via their phone, and I'm like, how do y'all do it? I can't do it.
My iPhone is not that good, so shout out to you guys for getting those perfect angles and those perfect views. This is like one of those shots that you need like a hammock hanging in the trees just watching.
Yes, exactly. And the clouds also illuminating it over the water, the tree hanging, probably not as windy. It doesn't look a little like, you know, when you see that fuzziness when there's wind present, so it's absolutely gorgeous. But this next one is from Carlton and Casey Euler, sunset at the Grand Hotel.
That's a gorgeous place to go and watch the sunset. The Grand is just a gorgeous place in general. And you got a perfect view to seeing the sunset right there. And look at it just peeking through the palm tree there.
That's what I was about to say. It's like we got a little switch up from the last one, because now we're getting it through the palm tree. But the first thing I noticed is I'm like, look at the, like you mentioned, it was a great place to watch the sunset. And I can imagine why they have that nice seating there, and it's right over the water. And then you get a little bit of that color hue over the water as well, because, you know, there's not much cloud in the sky. But again, put that one on a calendar for the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have gotten engaged at this area, or they go walking, a little romantic area to go on a stroll with your lover. So thank you for sending that picture in, and hopefully you guys had a great evening watching the sunset. All right, Jefferson Lee sends us this. Hope and Finn, they are Santa ready.
Oh my gosh. I am still on the lookout for like a cute sweater for Stormy to wear. I gave her the pumpkin for Halloween, and then she was unfortunately not with me because I went home to Chicago for Thanksgiving, but I would have dressed her up as a turkey, I promise. So I'm trying to find a cute like little sweater set, but they're kind of basic, the ones I've been seeing, so I might have to order her something online for something else for her to hate on her back.
Well, these are so cute. Hope and Finn look really good. Maybe you can ask Hope and Finn's mom or dad where they got those from, and for Stormy.
You got Santa's little elf right there, and I love that they pose, but most dogs don't move because they're like, what's going on?
The paws on top of each other. That's hilarious. So cute.
This next one is from Elin Sanford. Rita loves Santa.
Oh,
that is precious.
Love this picture. I love that Santa is just really soaking in that hug as well. It's so fun. I was talking earlier that this was Baker's first year to sit in Santa Claus's lap, and you never know how kids are going to react. Will they laugh? Will they cry? Will they just be stoic and kind of scared?
So what do we have with Baker?
Baker was just stone cold faced.
That makes sense for Baker.
He didn't smile, which he's a big smiler, but he was just like, I don't know.
He was trying to figure it out. He was testing the waters, but he wasn't 100% certain. But he's like, I think you're safe, my guy, but like, give me this for Christmas and then we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he was, being very just careful. But he didn't cry, so we call that a win. But this is such a cute picture. I love that embrace.
This next one also, it looks like another dog one. Ashton Black. This is Millie from Creola, Alabama.
Oh, Millie is so cute. That is a Boykin Spaniel, I'm pretty sure, because my family has one, and they are so, so cute. We have one, like I said, and she is very sassy, I will say. She's very prissy and sassy and I guess spoiled. It's my sister's dog, but it's kind of the whole family. So they're cute dogs, though. So pretty.
They are. I'm going to have to add on to this. Now that my tree is relit, now I can get Stormy in it, and I'm going to wrap her in lights. I don't care.
Okay, wrap her in lights, wrap her in wrapping paper, whatever, and send us a picture here.
I will. I got you guys.
All right, thanks, everyone, for sending in your pictures. Please continue to do so. Doesn't matter what it is. We want to see what you're seeing, and we might just show it right here on our newscast. We've got more news and weather coming up for you after this.
Toy Drive, Monday, December 15th at Walmart on the I-65 Service Road.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Live.
A rare bottle of Dom Perignon champagne from a royal wedding decades ago sells for nearly $60,000.
The Magnum of Dom Perignon, excuse me. Thank you. Vintage 1961 champagne was specially produced for the 1981 wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana.
Oh, it went up for auction today at a Danish auction house in Copenhagen.
The luxurious brand of vintage-only champagne was a limited edition wedding release.
It had a label saying, specially shipped to honor the marriage of His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales and Lady Diana Spencer, 29 July 1981.
A wine expert at the auction house says only a dozen bottles were made and were meant to be opened on their wedding day.
Adding, no one knows what happened to the others.
The auction house says the seller is a Danish collector who previously purchased the bottle from a London wine merchant.
That would be a cool item I would not mind having in my house. Princess Diana, even though their marriage did not work out, it would just be very cool to have that. Yeah, that's a really cool story. $60,000.
Yeah, just pocket change, right?
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal.
All right, a playful moment between two bears is caught on camera.
A visitor at the Queen Zoo is in New York.
Yeah, and they recorded two young Indian bears using a branch as a sort of seesaw.
The zoo's director says young bears are curious as well as playful. Their behavior is typically of their instinct to explore and test their surroundings.
This is really cool. It is like a seesaw. Here, you'll see it in just a second. They go to the ends and they're like, ooh, let's play. Andean bears are native to the tropical Andes in South America.
And are classified as a vulnerable species.
So cute.
That is so cute. I love seeing like babies explore. Like Stormy is now getting to that point where she's very curious about things. She's now jumping up on the counters, which I'm not very happy about because now she's a lot taller. So now that she's more tall, she's kind of testing the waters a little bit of what she can get away with. But I love seeing like basically the gears spinning in baby animals' brains.
That's how they're figuring out what they can and can't do and what's fun and what's not. All right, the architects now of AI have been named Time Magazine's Person of the Year for 2025.
Reflecting the massive rise of artificial intelligence we've seen over this past year.
The back cover shows the industry's top figures, including Elon Musk,
NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang,
and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, and others. AI really has been such a huge
It really has. I
this
remember,
year.
I think the biggest thing for me is when I first entered this business in March, AI was a huge no-go. But now, like 6 months later, it's like now we're incorporating it into our day-to-day lives because you just really can't escape it anymore.
Right.
In the improvements they've had too with it in just less than a year has been absolutely insane. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna get hacked by some of the videos I see on TikTok that are AI made because I'm like, I didn't even know.
Yes, that's the scary part of it. I feel like there should be like laws in place that if it is AI, it has to be labeled as such, or like just ways to detect AI, because I think it eventually and even now can confuse people and scam people. So that's the negative side of it, but it is a very smart tool that can help us work more efficiently and quickly. Again, you still got to double check over things and you can't just take its word for it, but it's very cool. All right, a hiker's journey through a popular national park took a dangerous turn when he got stuck in quicksand.
Oh goodness, Austin Dirks was hiking in Arcus National Park in Utah where he sank knee-deep into the murk.
Dirks is an experienced hiker, used a GPS satellite messenger to alert rescuers to his location.
He was stuck for hours in freezing temperatures by the time a park ranger reached him to hand him a shovel to start digging.
The problem? Water and sand kept refilling the hole faster than Dirks could shovel.
Soon after, the cavalry arrived in the form of a full search and rescue team.
The crew laid out a ladder and traction board so they could pull Dirks out and get him to safety. I don't know if you remember, at least I do, in like, what do you call it, cartoons growing up.
Yes.
Quicksand was always a huge thing. And now you never really hear of it in real life until this story right here. How scary would that be?
I can't even imagine, especially the fact that they're like, here's a shovel, figure it out. And then like he couldn't catch up with it either. So, I mean, I can definitely see how that's scary. And I'm glad they got to him in time because I'm sure that could have been a more harsh story. But let's talk about the forecast right now. We're going to start with tonight and look a little bit more ahead. So a calm night ahead, but still kind of cool out there, 42 degrees. Rain chance is at 0, and that wind has calmed down significantly. For tomorrow morning, you're probably going to want a jacket as you head out the door. Make sure you bundle up those kiddos too, because we'll be in the mid-40s till about 7 a.m. Then that sunshine comes up and gives us a little bit of warmth. So we'll be at near 53 degrees by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Highs are basically going to be above average. We are going to be in the 70s across the area. We have 70 in Mobile, 71 in Gulf Shores, 71 in Navarre, 71 in Bruton, 70 in Monroeville, and 72 in Leesville for highs tomorrow. Dew points are going to still stay dry out there, but we do increase a little bit in our moisture levels after that front pass through and that dry air has settled in. But we'll still be well into that pleasant category, so we really won't feel much of that humidity. So for tomorrow afternoon planner, probably going to want to have some short sleeves on because look at this. Well, this is for this afternoon, excuse me. It's going to be lots of sunshine and then also 70s tomorrow. So you want a light jacket to start the day and then probably want to have some short sleeves on underneath. But what we're looking for a weekend forecast, another warm day is expected for Saturday with a chance for a brief shower. But take a look at Sunday. We have another cold front move through the air that'll bring us cool and breezy conditions. Then that cold front moves through overnight into Monday morning, which is basically classified as an Arctic cold front moving through once again. So you can see in our wind forecast, look at that for Sunday and Monday, 15 to 20 mile per hour wind speeds for Sunday specifically, still on the higher side for Monday. But here's a look at the cold weather pulling through. So you can see right here that Arctic air getting pushed down into our area slowly as we make into Sunday. So that front will pass fully on Sunday, bringing dangerously cold weather for our Monday morning. We have cold shelter updates on our website, and we would not be surprised if we saw some dangerous cold weather and even some cold weather criteria being issued by the National Weather Service as this moves its way out of our area. And then we'll have another cold day for our Tuesday. Here's a look at our forecast. Lows 42 for our Friday, but 26 on Monday and 28 on Tuesday. So enjoy that warm weather this weekend. Don't go.
Winning is their game. Winning for you is ours. Andy wins.
Shelby, the bookkeeper at Theodore High School is out of a job today after a termination hearing here at the Mobile County School Board. Dramatic testimony about discrepancies in the books dating back a couple of years. We're going to break down what the board heard today at Fox 10 News at 5.
It is the season of giving, and students from Bayside Academy are helping to make sure children across our area have a present under the tree this Christmas.
Students donating to our 10 Caring Gifts Toys Drive. They delivered the gifts to our station. School leaders say this is an important time for their students because it gives them an opportunity to appreciate all that they have while also spreading joy to others.
It's exciting to be able to work with our lower school student government, our student elected leaders elected by their classmates, and for them to be able to spread joy this holiday season. And they even said maybe this is what it feels like to be one of Santa's elves.
Exactly. That's the spirit. You all are helping us be Santa's helpers, kind of like an elf. So you at home can join these children from Bayside by dropping off new unwrapped toys at the Mercedes-Benz of Mobile, Hanson Supertex, All-In Credit Union Sweat Tire and Automotive, Eastern Shore Toyota, or right here at the Fox 10 Studios on Satchel Paige Drive, or the Volunteers of America Southeast headquarters on Hillcrest. Well, it looks like there's still time to become a billionaire by Christmas.
Powerball is reporting no one took home its $930 million jackpot yesterday night. You know what? I might need to sign up for it. I want to be a billionaire by Christmas.
Absolutely. I need that money right now. Christmas presents are not cheap.
Nuh-uh.
So since nobody won, though, it means it's going to roll over and almost certainly surpass $1 billion big ones before Saturday's drawing.
It also means the lump sum payout option could grow beyond $500 million.
If someone won Wednesday, it would have been $429 million. Of course, that's before taxes.
Also, the chances of winning are ridiculously low, worse than 1 in 292 million.
And one more bit of bad news.
When the pot gets big enough to draw more players, it increases the odds more than one will win and have to split the prize.
But, you know, if you want to play, you got to pay. So good luck to everyone who's playing. We'll see you tomorrow.